drafted.
Yep. All right. 5 seconds until the drafting phase begins. Let's see how SUHAZ Esports is going to recover from a devastating game #1 here in the drafting phase.
Question is whether or not they switch sides in terms of drafting here, and yes, that does seem to be the case. SUHAZ Esports drafting on the blue side now, Team SMG on the red side. The Akai gonna instantly be banned out alongside the Valentina.
All right, okay, regular responses. This time Masha is going to get banned out for the side of SUHAZ Esports, making sure that Smooth is not going to be able to oppress the jungler and even pose a threat to the marksman. Team SMG responds in kind, getting rid of the Faramis.
It's just quite a thing to see though about how oppressive Smooth as a player overall is. Masha being banned out is not uncommon. However, we're definitely seeing a lot more improvement from this player compared to how he's been performing in previous seasons. I still remember when Smooth only played Esmeralda and Uranus, and now he is racking shop with basically anything you give him.
Yeah, I mean, Smooth has really developed into a world-class player. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to really show off what he had on the international stage for a very short run for Team SMG. But maybe this year, maybe during M4 is his time. First, they gotta qualify. Wan gets banned out for the side of Team SMG as Julian gets banned out by SUHAZ Esports.
Kind of curious why SUHAZ would ban out the Julian for themselves, considering this is a hero that they actually do pretty well with, indicating they might be prioritizing something else. But Beatrix is going to actually be locked in here. I guess they want to make sure Abumon has a good matchup against Sasa.
I think that's fair. I think that's really, really fair, in fact. Team SMG looking to respond. What are they going to lean towards now that these big picks are gone? Ling? Question mark?
Ooh, do they want to go for Ling? I feel like that's not really Box's style anymore, though. It used to be a signature, but now he plays tanks, he plays fighter. Speaking of Box as well, his average gold per minute at over 580 here is actually kind of low for a jungler, but you can understand that number when you see that the way he plays is more like a utility jungler for Team SMG rather than a main DPS.
It pains to see that. It really does pain me to see that, because again, if he was on Assassin, it'd be very dead.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes! Okay, I can't get too excited over this, but Team SMG just locked in Fanny here. I don't know whether it's going to be like a quick switcheroo like we saw on Todak, where Yums was playing it in the support positions. I am Senpai might be playing it. I'm just gonna hope that it's Box, but Lilia once again locked in for hate.
I can absolutely see Zion Senpai playing on this type of hero though. On the opposite end, we do have to talk a little bit about Oxygen. His average KDA is definitely not so high, but his DPM is actually pretty solid. So far, I do think that he is one of the stronger players among the SUHAZ Esports lineup, and he is usually able to make things happen alongside his team, but they need to give him a mid laner that can make aggressive plays.
Oh, this is exciting. We finally get to see Vinsmoke on that Natalia as Thamos gets locked in for City Norsana, both of which very, very comfortable heroes for the lineup of SUHAZ Esports.
Yep, things are looking much healthier for SUHAZ now. Beatrix and Tamiz are heroes that can easily win their own lanes, and if Vinsmoke can use his aggression to make sure that Box doesn't have a good time in the jungle, it's gonna make things a lot more difficult, especially if he's on a hero like the Fanny, which is a lot squishier than the usual Boxia or Akai.
And let's not forget that that smoke screen silences Fanny, and she won't be able to get out of sticky situations with the steel cables. But here we go, the second... Oh, Paquito gets locked in for the side of Team SMG.
I think I know what you're thinking here.
Fanny's going on Smooth, isn't it?
No, I still feel like Fanny is most likely going to Box or Zion Senpai, but what I'm thinking here is that this Paquito is probably going into the gold lane. Sasa likes playing Paquito into Beatrix.
That's true. This is like a homeboy situation. When all hell breaks loose, you don't have any marksmen to play, just play Sun. In this case for Sasa, it's Paquito. Let's see how they're going to round out the compositions as we move on to the second ban phase. Karina gets banned out for the side of Team SMG. I respect that a lot as SUHAZ Esports now hold priority.
What will SUHAZ Esports want to ban out here? Now, one of the things that might lead to this not actually being a gold lane Paquito is how early Team SMG actually picked it up here. Because if they wanted to give it to Sasa, usually they would want to pick it up later in the draft. So there's still a possibility this is actually going to Box because he does play on the Paquito. But at the same time, I'm not sure if that's going to be the case. There's just a chance that they pick it up to avoid it being banned out because they know Box can play the hero.
Fair enough. I mean, SUHAZ Esports did ban it out in the second phase, so fair enough. This could be an adaptation by Team SMG on the red side. SUHAZ Esports ban out the Matilda. I kind of like that. All right, you don't want escape mechanics. You don't want an extra sustain. But that does mean that but then again, it is Natalia, though. They already have a support.
Yeah, the reason why they ban out something like the Matilda is to avoid the guiding winds being able to pull people away from the smoke screen and just generally save people from the clutches of Natalia. But if they're going for that kind of route, the Rafaela is actually, in some ways, a better counter simply because he can scout out where the Natalia is with skill 1.
Yeah, I mean, with the Holy Healing, it really helps you not have to walk into a bush and then just die out of nowhere. You can actually just, oh, Holy Healing, oh, you're not there? No big deal. As soon as the exclamation mark appears, Holy Healing, there you are. You're not going to be able to do crazy damage when you get out of stealth. But Balmond gets banned out by the side of Team SMG. Let's see what SUHAZ Esports would like to reply in kind.
With Team SMG banning out the Karina and the Balmond, this does definitely create better options and does make it more likely that Fanny is going into the jungle after all, because these are heroes that Fanny would have difficulty executing. SUHAZ Esports still going for the support route, but instead of the Rafaela, they ban out the Angela instead. And that does actually make sense. Heartguard, a very good way to save people as the Ruby gets locked in.
Yeah, still a lot of question marks here. A lot of flex picks going around for Team SMG, but I feel like Ruby more likely to go into the support position.
Yes, I agree. I think like Zyme Senpai is basically the only player on SMG that plays Ruby, and that's going to be in the roam position. I think it works out well. Another good option to deal with the Natalia as well, as he can simply use crowd control to make sure that the rest of his team isn't caught out. Now we're looking at the SUHAZ Esports players' screens. We can see them hovering over Benedetta and Cecilion. I don't know if these would be the best choices, though.
I would have liked for SUHAZ Esports to take the Lilia a little bit earlier, but I think it's fine. Going for the Benedetta here is very understandable. High mobility, you can go for a tank build so you don't get one-shot by Fanny. But Kagura is a much better pick compared to Cecilion, because once the gap has been closed between Fanny and Cecilion, there's not a lot you can do as Cecilion to get out of it.
Not to mention the fact that Kagura does have an inbuilt Purify to ensure that he's not so easily caught out by things like the Ruby, like the Lilia as well. Team SMG gonna be finalizing their composition, which is actually going to be the carry. So this is not a Sasa Paquito. It is Box finally playing on an assassin once again.
All right, that feels really good. All right, the last time we saw Box actually play the Fanny, he wasn't able to clutch out a win during Season 9. But on Team SMG, if Coach James says, hey, you get to play Fanny this time, there's got to be some level of confidence.
Well, considering how handedly they were able to win Game 1, you can understand why they would be confident enough to try something, even if they may not 100% believe in it. And this is a chance for the players of Team SMG to try out strategies that they would not be comfortable going with other teams. So it is up to SUHAZ Esports to see if they can take advantage of this. Looking at their lineup, a lot of aggression, a lot of mobility, and a good amount of scaling as well. But Team SMG are just as, if not more, terrifying. Lots of early and mid-game damage transitioning into the carry to pull them through the late game. Will Team SMG be able to silence the plans of SUHAZ Esports, or will another rookie team upset us here today in the land of Dawn?
Welcome to game number 2 of this best of 3. Instantly, SUHAZ Esports looking to gain that information, but Hate and Zyme Senpai close out and funnel them away from the enemy enemy from their own jungle. Now SUHAZ Esports, let's see how Vinsmoke, because I've heard so much from the MDL ID from when Vinsmoke is playing that Natalia is a very big signature pick.
You can see that there was a lot of respect from Team SMG for the pick as well, forcing 4 people over to make sure Box has a good starting buff, and he's able to deal a lot of damage over to Razin immediately as Vinsmoke actually gets chunked out to 10% HP in a 2v1.
What? How? We didn't get to see the interaction exactly. I saw him rotating up. I would have thought that at the very least Carry was going to get chunked out, but I guess Sasa made a very good guess, but now they're going to go and try and steal the orange buff if they zone out Ryzen, and they are successful in doing so. Good combination with Zyme Senpai as well as Hate.
That was a good eye for an eye by Razin in order to make sure that he didn't get caught out there, but he does still lose the buff. And because Box has so much mobility here, he's just as able to threaten these buffs as he was when he was playing the Boxia.
Yep. Now he's going to be moving forward here as Razin is trying his best to get as much farm as he possibly can, but Zyme Senpai looking to threaten that farm straight away as Box comes straight in and immediately shoves him out, trying to go for this kill, gets very close, but not enough to secure the kill. Right now, it's going to be Oxygen looking for the punish. Box unfortunately misses a cable, but he still makes it out alive.
Team SMG are being so annoying to SUHAZ Esports right now, and that's exactly their goal. They once again want to make it so that Razin cannot play the game, but on a Benedetta, he has a lot more options to ensure that he actually achieves this farm as compared to when he was on the Ling. So Team SMG's plans so far are not actually panning out as well as they would like to.
Yeah, and I think Smooth is doing all right, especially in a matchup between Thamus and as well as Paquito. That first kill makes all the difference, but now with the yin-yang overturn, Zyme Senpai's in trouble, flickers out of the way into safety. Unfortunately for Vinsmoke, was not able to catch him just of yet, but Smooth shoves away CT Norsana. Box will be able to take the turtle successfully.
That would have actually been a pretty good play by SUHAZ because it made it so that Zyme Senpai would not be able to participate in the turtle take, but because Razin is behind Box right now, they weren't able to contest it, and Box now continuing to steal jungle camps away. Even look at that, flexing on the competition.
Yep, he's looking really good here, and especially when he has his purple buff uncontested, he's allowed to kind of do some crazy stuff with those steel cables. Smooth now keeping information onto Razin so far. Vinsmoke is going to respond here, but let's not forget about Oxygen. He is here to respond, making sure that Razin is able to get his orange buff, and Smooth is forced to go back into his lane.
All things considered, this is a much better early game for SUHAZ Esports, though Razin is actually matching Box in terms of level, and Team SMG only has about an 800 gold lead, so things can still go either way. They need to maintain it, and they actually get first blood. Hate caught out in the river.
You don't get to see that very often, especially with the black shoes. He had an opportunity, but Vinsmoke made sure that it was difficult. Now, the rest of the team is going out of their way to try and adjust for the lack of a mid laner right now until he gets back and helps control it once again.
SUHAZ Esports are now actually in a position where they can contest Team SMG, so this is going to be the real display of their abilities here. Now that the net worth and EXP are even, how do they compete against Team SMG just in terms of macro and micro play?
Based on the positions here, I think they're just keeping check on where Razin is so he cannot really participate. But for now, I think Team SMG will slowly start making their way. They figured out where Vinsmoke is, but with about, let me double check, 13 seconds on the clock, they're going to go towards Turtle, but Zyme Senpai is getting really low here. Can he make it out as Vinsmoke looks to try and punish him right on top? The yin-yang overturn coming out of Oxygen switches his position onto Hate as Box looks to finish off the kill onto Abumon. Secures it, and now Box so very low. Vinsmoke, no, Sasa, he's trying to stop him. Vinsmoke secures the kill.
A beautiful trade by SUHAZ Esports, ending up 2-for-2 against Team SMG, and that is quite incredible there. We have to note, Razin started off that fight with an eye for an eye, avoiding the I'm offended, and that allowed him to escape and the rest of the team to follow up behind him. Now, Razin is in position to claim a turtle, the first one of the game for SUHAZ, but oh no, Abumon!
He might be in a bit of trouble, but Zyme Senpai, he has to pull backwards. He doesn't have his items just yet, and I think he has to itemize a little carefully. He needs to have a good amount of armor but a bit of magic resist to stop the burst from Oxygen. Right now, Smooth is doing a very good job at just taking control over this lane. He's a full level ahead of Thamus. And Abumon gonna quickly clear out this side of the map as SUHAZ takes control over top side.
We can see now that SUHAZ has completely evened up the net worth difference. They are even with Team SMG, and that is great. That's exactly where they want to be in this game, considering that they do have pretty good late game scaling in comparison, as long as they can continue to keep Abumon alive and farming well. As for Team SMG, they're definitely a little bit out of their element right now. They were hoping to be much more ahead at this stage of the game.
Yeah, I would agree too. And Box, ooh, he's getting attacked. The Yin Yang Overturn actually misses. This might be the green light, but hey, not in position to capitalize on this. Wasn't expecting such a commitment from SUHAZ Esports.
Indeed, but whatever they need to make sure that they maintain the current status quo. They can't give any net worth advantage to Team SMG. And right now, Smooth still taking pretty decent 1v1s against City Norsana, but this is a Thamus. All he has to do is hold that lane and pull Smooth back over.
Ooh, Abumon so very low, almost securing this dive, and Zyme Senpai gonna make sure he stalls and make sure that Abumon isn't gonna get his recall very comfortably, which buys more time for Team SMG to take control, and they have broken bottom side for the side of SUHAZ Esports as they trade turret for turret, top for bottom. Interesting.
Things are pretty even, yeah. The net worth lead pretty close. The tower score is even on both sides. Box now has a Malefic Roar. I'm personally kind of interested to see what his item build is, because he doesn't have high and dry. He's going for Festival of Blood instead, so I'm wondering how much he's leaning into damage on this Fanny here.
I would agree with that. Now, they're going to be sitting on the turtles. I am Senpai making sure that Vinsmoke is nowhere to be found. As SUHAZ looks to reset, this is some perfect timing here. A free turtle going over the hands of Team SMG.
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter too much. SUHAZ has actually been doing a pretty good job of keeping the net worth level. And Vinsmoke on this Natalia has definitely been creating a lot of space for SUHAZ. We have mentioned before, Team SMG, they tend to play very fixed, very clinical MLBB, but if they get disrupted, it affects them quite heavily.
Zyme Senpai, he's got to be careful here. He's been face-checking these brushes, and each time he gets caught, he's forced to use that flicker, which is putting him behind. But Abumon, so out of position, allows for Box to chase after. Smooth is willing to sacrifice a flicker to secure the kill. Box lets him have it as he continues back on his farming route.
Kind of wonder if Box actually missed that right there, because that was so close. I'm surprised he just flew past him without getting the kill. They were able to still finish up on Abumon, but in exchange for that, City Norsana is taking the tower up top. They're actually still trading objectives with Team SMG.
Personally, I respect the jungler. I committed a flicker, therefore I deserve the kill. And Box, he respected that. So again, well played for him. But now Ryzen as well as Vinsmoke securing the area. Box now in trouble. He's running out of energy here. How many steel cables does he have left? That purple buff keeps him alive. As he gets out of there. And the rest of the team needs to crack open this mid-tier 1, which Sasa is putting some good damage into.
The net worth lead for Team SMG finally broke 1K for a moment there, but SUHAZ are honestly doing a much better job than I would have expected of keeping up in farm. Zyme Senpai right now providing vision over Razin. I think they want the rest of Team SMG to come and contest this, but I don't think they're going to be quick enough. They're still going to make the attempt, but Eye for an Eye gets Razin to safety.
Yep. Box is going to continue farming as the rest of Team SMG is just making sure that Sasa is safe as he's pushing these neutral objectives. The First Lord is here, but Smooth getting attacked by Vinsmoke is able to buy some time with the Festival of Blood, but Box, wait, did he actually get it? Yes, he does!
Yes, he did!
He manages to take away the purple buff.
And now he's trying to make an attempt, but Oxygen honestly has been doing a really good job on this Kagura as well, getting the stun onto the Fanny and even being able to escape from situations where typically you would expect him to get first down, and even catching out Hate a couple of times there as well, forcing out the black shoes.
Yep. Oh, Zyme Senpai tries to, oh no! He messes up! He doesn't get the ult off with Ryzen. He's still in trouble. He quickly uses the Eye for Eye to get out. City Norsana pops his ult to survive. Box is looking for the kill, but can't seem to get it as the Electo final blow gets him to safety.
Well, we were wondering how SUHAZ Esports matches up to SMG in terms of micro skills, and right now they're showing they can actually stand on this stage with the best there. The Electo final blow from Rausen just in time to make sure Box couldn't finish off the kill. And Zenpoi, that was a really uncharacteristic mistake from him there, wasting the flicker, not able to secure the kill for his team.
I mean, he had the right idea. He just needed, oh wait, he finds the ult and hooks in CT Norsana. Not the ideal target, but Team SMG, they respect that. They're like, okay, sure, not the right target. Let's back up. Vinsmoke looking for the execute. Oh, he even pops his execute. Almost taking out Box.
The Festival of Blood actually ended up saving Box's life there. If he didn't have that extra lifesteal from the jungle creep, he would have actually ended up dying to Vinsmoke. So sometimes small things like this really do make a difference in the grand scheme of things. Team SMG do still have the net worth lead by a little bit, but SUHAZ are the ones applying the pressure.
Yeah, this is becoming a tough game here as Abumon, now unlocked from his lane, is able to use the Renner to shoot down and siege these turrets from afar.
And looks like the tower score is actually still pretty even for both sides. Neither is giving an inch. And when you consider their performance compared to game number 1 here, this is worlds apart. I don't know what Team SMG is doing differently right now, but SUHAZ are in perfect control. They are even, and they can comfortably challenge Team SMG.
Yep, they're realizing SUHAZ's position on the map. They've got a 3-2 split. 2 sitting by the Lord side, 3 on the top side, River ready to collapse and look for those big flanks onto Team SMG. But they have to play it slow here, as Team SMG can't afford to get flanked. They have no means of escape or disengage. If they go in, they have to call the lights, turn them off, and quickly press their advantage.
And that's not really to Team SMG's typical battle style. They want to be in control of the battlefield. They want to be able to go in and out when they can. And as a result of that, you can see that they're shifting to a much more defensive gameplay style. Smooth still trying to engage, but a really nice retreat from SUHAZ too.
Oh wait, Sasa, he's in a lot of trouble here. He takes a good amount of damage, but nobody to follow up. Vinsmoke gets a bit of damage in, but really is looking to execute more than anything else. I'm Senpoi making sure that he's feeding back that information to the rest of Team SMG. He's going to get zoned off here as Vinsmoke deep in the enemy jungle, looking for an opportunity to get to the back line.
This is one of the unfortunate weaknesses of Team SMG. They're a bit too passive. The concealed play gonna be disrupted instantly by City Norsana. Smooth forced the flicker away. He was out of position. Team SMG, do they still want to go for the Zyme Senpoi? He's looking for the hook with Smooth. But SUHAZ Esports, they're aware of this, their positioning, and that's because Vinsmoke is giving that information.
I don't think they see Vinsmoke at all. No exclamation marks have been given away. Vinsmoke is making sure that he's keeping his distance. SUHAZ, unfortunately, need to have some kind of full vision as Smooth starts things off. The I'm offended not actually hitting onto Abumon, which does give a bit of a question mark. Let's see as Benedetta on the top side of the map going to get a split push started.
This is an unfortunate bad habit of Team SMG. If they are not in a comfortable lead against their opponent, they're going to play as passive as possible until they actually get that lead. But because of that, they're not actually creating opportunities for themselves to come out on top and overthrow the enemy by getting more farm. They're just waiting for SUHAZ to make a mistake.
Yeah, let's also not forget that Team SMG will eventually scale, so they don't mind it.
Oh!
The shots coming out from Abumon, instantly putting Zyme Senpoi in the dirt.
That's just not so good. Box nearly taking out Oxygen, but he's able to dance away once again. Vinsmoke, he's looking to cut off Box's escape route, and he will engage on it. City Norsana is fine. Abumon takes the Lord. Now the Tamis is under fire, but he has Vengeance, so he's absolutely fine.
Oh.
Vinsmoke still looking for Box, but I think he will be able to recall back safely.
Yep, he will not be able to find him just yet. Man, Vinsmoke was waiting in the enemy purple side brush for the longest time, but now he's still invisible. He's waiting for Box to run out of energy, but let's not forget that he does have that purple buff. He can get out of there if he wants to. Even with all of his abilities, based on his items, I don't think he has enough just yet.
Vinsmoke actually walked out of that bush without Box ever realizing he was there. That's pretty good use of the Natalia right now. Box in the enemy jungle, he needs the purple buff to be refreshed to engage on the next fight. Luminous Lord pushing in the bottom. This is a chance for SUHAZ to do a lot of damage.
Well, let's see how much structural damage they're able to get because Hate is just chunking out this Lord. They're not going to get too much off of this as Box gets into the middle of that fight. Make sure that Abumon uses his ult, unable to make any kind of contact as he pulls away with the steel cables.
SUHAZ unfortunately not able to do a lot of damage with that Lord there. That was Luminous as well, so ideally they'd be able to take down a single inhibitor, but the in and out hit and run by Box was enough damage to make sure that they were able to escape. And I do like that he didn't full commit to that because he knows that Abumon with Wesker is going to one-shot here.
Yup, but Smooth, despite the lead that he did have initially, oh wait, he actually finds out Vinsmoke. This might be initiation here as Box looks for Vinsmoke. He's looking to take him out, but he finds all three members. He's gonna steel cable the heck out of there, revealing all the members of SUHAZ Esports, but there's no reason for Team SMG to fight right now.
We mentioned in the draft that it's been a long time since Box has played on assassin heroes, especially one as mechanically intensive as Fanny, and you can definitely see that he's lacking a little bit of that comfort right now, missing out on kills that regular Fanny players would have easily been able to pick up, and you can tell that that is making an impact on Team SMG's gameplay.
Well, to be fair, I think SUHAZ is playing it very smartly, on top of the fact that they all have their comfort heroes, and they're really abusing the information that they find with Vinsmoke. However, Team SMG, as you mentioned before, they've got the habit of playing extremely calculated. No lead, no worries. We just push it all the way to the late game. We will eventually outscale them. Box will fall off, but don't worry. Carry is going to do a lot of the work, and the same goes for Lilia.
The question is whether or not they'll be able to output that damage, because yes, while Team SMG has pretty good scaling, so does SUHAZ, and if they're able to burst down the DPSs of SMG quick enough, they are in a good position themselves. As we can see, that last Lord push advantage really wasn't much. This is the kind of numbers you'd expect from the first Lord of the game, not a Luminous one.
That is true. Team SMG continuing to be uninteractive with SUHAZ Esports, and SUHAZ not really pressing their agenda just yet. They know that the Lord is going to be the objective. No point losing out on structures, no point on losing out EXP for the time being.
Zion Senpai going to face check the bush up against Siti Norsana, who jumps away, gets hooked backwards. Zion taking a lot of damage from Renner as well. Vinsmoke on top of Sasa, gonna distract him quite a bit. Box nearly dying to the shotgun, but he will get out, and they finally pick off Vinsmoke, which is going to be a lot of information not given to SUHAZ.
Yep, they could look to try and take control over the Lord, but they've got some housekeeping to do. Clear up the top and bottom lanes before getting back into this. Oh, the damage from Abumon. Zion Senpai is just eating shots.
But as long as Zion Senpai is eating the shots, that means that the rest of Team SMG can remain healthy and work on these neutral objectives. Right now, Sasa gonna be slowly working on the Lord. They know that both Benedetta and Fanny are down in the bottom side, so neither team is ready to full commit to this until they get a good pick-off.
Yep, Benedetta is almost there, but here comes Fanny. She needs to clear up that mid lane here. They might need to reset this. It's Smooth in the middle of the fight, takes the yin-yang overturn, flickers away, but Zion Senpai finds the offended onto two as the front line. Must hold on. Beatrix able to take out Zion Senpai, but Box finishes him off. Abumon almost getting Box. He survives, but the front line now has to pull back. Smooth is a little low. Everybody needs a reset as they trade 1 for 1.
This is probably the most uneventful game we have had in the past, like, weeks of the regular season. Oh my god, they actually lost that.
They lost a mid inhibitor off of all that action. The 1 for 1 trade, no Lord, haven't been able to translate it. Now, at a lane disadvantage, Team SMG have reached the later stages of the game. When do you pull the trigger?
I have no idea, and honestly, I'm kind of lost for words right now because this just feels so sloppy from Team SMG when you compare it to their gameplay in game number 1. Are they really that uncomfortable when they don't have a lead? Smooth forced to kill a jungle camp to regen up his HP. Sasa resetting the Lord again. They do find Vinsmoke though. That's a nice catch. Killing spree going over to Sasa. And now SUHAZ has to play this quite safe. They do still have 4 people alive. They're now targeting Smooth. The shotgun doing a lot of damage. Smooth needs to dance around this. Immortality already popped down. He will survive as now Abumon is the next target. Box jumping in, nearly dying to a few Wesker shots, but he's still alive. Sasa forced to retreat though. Smooth still alive, but he lost his immortality, and that means SUHAZ actually have control over the river.
Yep, I mean, they're one man down, and they're going to quickly reset for the side of Team SMG before running back in. ZymSenpai keeping an eye on this Lord as the mid lane contested. As always, SUHAZ Esports know that they have an advantage there, so they're going to keep utilizing it to keep Team SMG on their toes. A fight's about to commence as ZymSenpai is in the middle of the Lord pit. Benedetta comes in with the Electro final blow as the backline is still okay. It's going to be, unfortunately, Abumon paying the price. Smooth it makes sure he's dead. City Norsana dies in the front line with no support from the rest of his team. A 2-for-0 trade in favor of Team SMG.
This is the opening Team SMG we're looking for, finally taking out Abumon, basically their primary threat on the side of SUHAZ. That means that he can safely start working on this Lord, but Razin is still alive, and Smooth has to be now forced to go back and defend the base as well, meaning it becomes a lot more dangerous for them. Box nearly getting caught by the yin-yang overturn as well. He's still fine.
Coin flip.
Ooh, this could be a coin flip right now. Razin still has Retri, Box still has it. The silence on Sasa, but the wind of nature keeps him alive. So they're still on top of Razin gets the Lord. Smooth chasing down Oxygen in the back line. Only the Benedetta and Kagura are alive now. Scratch that. Oxygen gets taken out, but Razin did secure the objective for his team.
Oh, they lost 3 members there. And unfortunately for Box, he was too low, backs away a little bit, but Razin keeps aggro on this Luminous Lord. 21 minutes into this game, Team SMG, fortunately, yes, they have scaled, but they still can't get their win condition.
And because they ended up investing so much time into taking the Lord, they now have to clear up every lane at once too, which means more time taken for them to group back up together and more time for SUHAZ to actually wait for their team members to respawn without taking any sort of damage.
Yep, with the AI winning prediction being 64-36 in favor of SUHAZ Esports. Let's see how this is going to hold up later into the game. It's both teams, unfortunately, don't want to drop the ball.
This is a very strange game here, considering the kind of games we have been witnessing in Season 10 so far. It feels like a blast to the past from Season 9, where teams are just too afraid of making a big mistake to actually try and engage for any sort of advantage. And because of that, Team SMG has allowed SUHAZ Esports an opportunity to actually even up this series.
Yep, and they're doing it well. Vinsmoke caught out of position once more. He's looking for Box. He gets pulled back by the offended, and a killing spree achieved by Box. But honestly, with an almost 1-minute timer here, SUHAZ Esports with a man down, at the very least, Vinsmoke will be back up for the next upcoming Lord fight.
We can see in terms of items as well, most of the players are actually hitting their full item builds, the only exceptions being the roamers on each side here. I'm offended actually used on City Norsana, but there's no way they're getting a kill onto the Tamas. And with another minute until the Lord actually respawns and the net worth difference still being basically nothing, we're in for a long haul here, folks.
Yeah, this is quite the long haul. As a matter of fact, it's Team SMG, housekeeping duty as always. Can't do much about it as SUHAZ Esports, making sure that Team SMG always has to clean up these lanes. And Oxygen needs to make sure he lives. He's a very pivotal part for the team comp of SUHAZ Esports.
This is honestly kind of curious, because if you were to compare the lineups, the draft from Team SMG in Game 1 and Game 2, I think a lot of people would find it difficult to guess which is the game that they ended up dragging out and which one they ended early.
I mean, if we average it out, it should just be 2 normal games at this point, right? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Let's see how long this one's going to go. Is Team SMG going to rebuff themselves? Abumon actually in a very interesting position here. I don't think he's looking to one-shot anybody. Oh, no. He sees a Sasa. He's down. And he's down for the count. Smooth tries to take him off, but misses the second KO strike. He walks away for free.
You thought it was Vinsmoke, but it was me, Abumon, and they get Box as well. The shutdown on the Fanny. Smooth finally gets Abumon in the backline, and now both teams are looking real low. ZymSenpai gonna lose his immortality as well. The Paquito is now actually a problem as they finally pick up Vinsmoke on the side. ZymSenpai still alive, but not for too long. That's a 2-for-3 trade in favor of SUHAZ Esports.
Oh my goodness, this spiraled out of control for Team SMG so fast, and this next Lord is going to be secured by SUHAZ Esports with no issues whatsoever. Smooth, he has to delay this somehow for at least 20 seconds or so that Sasa comes back to life.
Will he be able to do so though? Hate gonna be here to support him. He's aiming for oxygen, but really nice zoning by the Kagura to keep him occupied. He now can't afford to spend more time on him. He has to go for Razin. They're getting knocked up by the Lord, but Smooth doesn't have enough damage. It's dropping into retry range. Electro final blow comes out. Razin secures it. Smooth dropping low. Immortality popped on City Norsana. Smooth might lose his as well, but he keeps it alive. They find the kill onto Tamers, and now they have to defend the next Luminous Lord.
They tried their best. It was a 2v3 situation. They did as much as they could, and this is why you build Benedetta as a tank.
Yep, it's just so annoying to have to deal with, and Smooth, no matter how he tried, wasn't able to stop him from taking it. Now, with the Lord pushing in mid lane, no inhibitor to defend the Crystal. Team SMG has to hold it back, and with waves pushing on both sides as well, we're going to be looking at a fair bit of damage onto Team SMG structures, and I think Box lost the purple buff.
Yup, Razin is taking full advantage of his build, making sure that Box is going to be buffless this time. Oh my goodness. This is sweet, sweet retribution for SUHAZ Esports.
But they are actually able to defend against the Lord. They just need to make sure they don't take too much tower damage from the next few Lord enhanced waves. They should be able to do so, hopefully, without losing an inhibitor. But that means we're probably waiting another 2 minutes for the next Luminous Lord.
Oh boy, this is taking forever. But both sides understand that a lot is at stake. A single death, you have a minute timer before you come back to life. And with the Lord coming up, dying within the next 30 seconds is generally okay, but ideally, as soon as that Lord timer becomes 60 seconds, nobody should be going out of position. Nobody should be overextending.
I think Team SMG recognized that as well. They knew that if they were going to take a fight, they had to take it immediately, which is why they went for the concealed play onto Abumon. But because they didn't find anyone now, I think we can expect them to be playing a lot more safely as the Lord is starting to hit that timer you mentioned.
All right, this is taking a while as Box will be able to get out of this position. 60 seconds has been achieved here. Now SUHAZ Esports and Team SMG cannot afford to die out, but we also have to remember that the lanes are extremely important. Team SMG are missing a mid inhibitor, so SUHAZ, they're going to pull attention to mid lane before clearing up that side lane, or at least one of those side lanes, before running it back to Turtle. Top side slow pushing in Team SMG's favor.
But Razin's going to have a very easy time just split pushing these lanes. Again, this is the strength of having a hero like the Benedetta. It's basically like a safer Ling, and it makes it very difficult for Team SMG to try and group up the contest objectives because they constantly have to push out the lanes.
Well, speaking of which, both of them just hovering around nearby. Vinsmoke deep in the enemy lane. I don't know what's going to happen here, but 10 more seconds until the Lord spawns. Mid-control is established for both teams, and they're looking to take this even further.
Smooth literally just waiting for Razin to leave so that he can clear up the wave. They're playing as safe as possible.
Look at how deep Vinsmoke is.
Wow.
Gonna wait for that wave to start shoving out and then maybe make his way into Team SMG's orange buff. If he gets a flank and is able to kill Sasa here, SUHAZ have the green light to start running it down.
I think we also have to note too, if they're able to get a wave pushing down mid lane, it's very possible for Vinsmoke to just go behind them and finish off the crystal on his own if the rest of his team is able to distract SMG long enough. Flicker
is caught!
Oh, he might not. He doesn't get away. Immortality popped on the Beatrix. He's still alive for now. Box has to back off as well, but they get Abumon. That's a huge catch for SMG so early on. Electro final blow going in. He wants to pick off the lower health members of Team SMG, but he doesn't know where they are anymore. He's gonna go on Smooth instead, but these two are never going to kill each other. That's a great pickoff for SMG.
That's a huge pickoff. They got Abumon's Flicker as well. Force Oxygen to use his Flicker, and that's a big advantage for Team SMG. SMG just continue up with the housekeeping and take down that Lord.
Will they take it though? Team SMG still has the tendency to wait until they know they can take the objective for sure. Yes, Abumon's gone, but the most important member of SUHAZ, Razin, with that red tree is still around. Team SMG have to be careful. This could be their game-winning ticket. They cannot afford to give it away again.
All right, and they're man down. Are they going to give this away? Vinsmoke is in position to look for these big flanks here, and that's the problem. If Box gets silenced, he won't be able to use his retribution, allowing for a steal coming in from Razin. All right, they're holding strong. They still have all 5 of their members. Smooth is doing his best to push them backwards. The coin flip is about to happen here as Razin looking for some angle to get in. The coin flip, here it is! Who takes it away? It's gonna be Box who takes the Lord. They kill Razin. He comes back for immortality, but they refuse to let him electro final blow away. Vinsmoke does not participate in this fight.
We are now 30 minutes into the game. I cannot believe I'm saying that, but this is going to be a very powerful Luminous Lord. The thing is, though, SUHAZ Esports has 2 more towers than Team SMG, so if they're able to hold the line, this may not necessarily be victory for SMG.
Well, let's see, because the wave clear coming out from SUHAZ Esports, yes, it's great, but Vinsmoke is not good at wave clearing, and so is City Norsana. So this might be a bit of an issue with these Lord-empowered minions, and the fact that Benedetta has generally scaled off, doesn't build any damage, goes for the full tank. It might be a bit of an issue as they try and crack open this top inhibitors. Senpai slowly itching his way. Vinsmoke in the back line looking to get a catch onto Sasa, but Sasa's not letting him through. They successfully cracked the inhibitor, and they also take out Vinsmoke. 2 members already down, and Team SMG look to end this game. The Luminous Lord is too strong, and SUHAZ dropped the ball finally. 30 minutes, GG. Well played for Team SMG.
In what may possibly be the longest game of the season. We'll see. There's still 6 more weeks. Team SMG finally closed things out.